Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
Amanda.
I'm Jay.
I'm Josh.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Saw 2 from 2005.
When your head bone connected from your neck bone, your neck bone connected from your shoulder bone connected.
What would you sacrifice to survive?
Live or die, make your choice.
Saw 2, now showing on Skybox Office.
Let the game begin. Now hear the word of the Lord.
Saw 2 stars Donnie Wahlberg, Shawnee Smith, Dina Meyer, Tobin Bell, and is directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. The plot of Saw 2 is that when a new murder victim is discovered with all the signs of Jigsaw's hand, Detective Eric Matthews begins a full investigation and apprehends Jigsaw with little effort. But for Jigsaw, getting caught is just another part of his plan. 8 more of his victims are already fighting for their lives, and now it's time for Matthews to join the game. What are my positives with Saw 2? Honestly, for me, visually and tonally, it matches with the first film, honestly. This is probably the one film in the franchise that matches the stylistic choices and the tone of the first film, like, really well almost. Like, it's the closest film to do that, as far as one of these sequels doing that. Also, another positive is that all the acting is really good. I especially like some of the new characters, I like Eric Matthews. Also, it's nice to see some old characters return. We get Dina Meyer back as Carrie. We get Shawnee Smith back as Amanda from the first film. That she has a much more prevalent role in this movie. And of course, we got Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, aka John Kramer. Which, fun fact, I have actually met Tobin Bell. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in my previous review, for Saw 1 and that. And to show proof that I met him, I actually got 2 things here that I would like to show you guys. So I got actually a photo op with Tobin Bell. Now, I met him all the way back in 2015, so 2 years before the 8th film came out. So yeah, I got a photo op with him, and I also got his autograph, and this is to show you, the photo op is just to show you how legit the autograph is. So, here's the photo op. See, there's me with Tobin Bell. I'm wearing my, Trick or Treat Studios, Jigsaw costume. Excuse my light there, but yeah, so I did meet Tobin Bell. Also, here's the autograph I got. It says, for Joshua, best from Tobin Bell Jigsaw, and he also gave the date. So I met him October 4th, 2015. And in fact, I even, when I met him, I even showed him, concept art that me and Abe, because Abe was there with me too, so he could confirm that as well, but, yeah, I did show him concept art that Abe made for my first Saw film, for the traps and that, and he seemed to really like the concept art, actually, seemed legit, actually. So I guess you could say my Saw film was approved by Tobin Bell. But anyway, let's get back to the review. I just wanted to share that fun story with you guys. Also, another thing I dug about this film is the pacing. The pacing of this film is really good. This is an hour and a half long, and I did not feel like that. At most, it probably felt like only an hour, so cut down by 30 minutes. I also like the idea of this film, having it be and still small scale, mind you. They just slightly upped it a bit from the first movie. Instead of 2 guys being trapped in one room for the majority of the movie, we have multiple people trapped in a whole house that they get to walk through for the majority of the movie. But we also got the stuff with, you know, Eric Matthews and that trying to look for his son, who's now part of, you know, Jigsaw's game. Also, I really dug a lot of the traps in this movie. Like, some of the standouts for me is like the needle pit trap. That's, I think, most people stand out in this movie. And just the whole nerve gas house as in general is a really interesting idea. It's basically like a whole house of traps, really. That's all it is. And you can play a lot with that idea, but still keeping it small scale. Sure, some of the traps are a bit amped from the first movie, but they're still kept simple, honestly. It's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody, like anybody, could really make these traps, actually. Also, there is some legitimate suspense in this movie. It's not just, you know, it's not up to the torture porn standards that some people would regard this franchise for. You know, at least not yet. It's not up to the torture porn stuff yet, at this point in the franchise. Also, the music by Charlie Clouser is still really good. He composed the music for the first film, so it's nice to see that he came back for the second one. And we didn't got James Wan coming back to do this one. Instead, we got, you know, Darren Lynn Bousman, and I think he did a really good job with this one. I think he matched the James Wan style really well from the first movie. Which, honestly, I am actually excited the fact that, you know, Darren Lynn Bousman is coming back to do this next, like, Chris Rock Saw movie, which is so far under the title of Spiral from the Book of Saw, aka Saw 9. So I'm really excited that he's back in the director's chair. Also, I like all the, like, because there's a lot of twists and turns in this movie, and I really do like how they handle it. Although I will admit, there's some which you can pinpoint, even if you haven't, you know, watched this movie before. But overall, they handled the twists and turns almost, like, they handled the twists and turns about as well as they did with the first movie. What are my negatives with Saw 2? Honestly, for me, the biggest negative I have is that the fact they tried to amp up the gore in this movie. For me, the first Saw film wasn't really much about the gore as it was about the story and characters and basically how are they going to get out of this sick game with their lives. But honestly, for me, that's my only gripe. I would have, if I had directed this one, I would have toned down the gore, you know, maybe even more so than the first one. Because honestly, I'm kind of curious, what would a Saw film be like without the gore? And had to focus much more on suspense and tension. That could be really interesting, actually. So with that said, I'm going to give Saw 2 a 4 out of 5 stars. Honestly, for me, I think it's about as good as the original movie. The only thing that's keeping it from being as, like, 100% as good, like, pitch perfect good, like, as pitch perfect good as the first movie, is the fact of that they amped up the gore. If they were to just had toned down the gore for me, and maybe got to focus on a little bit more stuff here and there, then I would have, you know, thought this movie was a perfect sequel. And honestly, it's a damn good sequel. It's a damn good continuation. You know, it evolves the story, it evolves the characters, it actually does a little bit more world building. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and